engineer or the technician. But that is only part. So everybody in the engineering industry, in the civil engineering, technician and industry should look at the other professions like the computer, programming, like the medical profession. They all develop themselves. They don't stop training. There is nothing called I am a medical doctor, which means I'm not going to read every day. So now medical doctors, the medicine is changing every day, the computer language is changing, the programming is changing, the programs are changing, everything is changing. So we, as civil engineer community, we would also like to implant in our workforce this concept of the importance of educating yourself. Now, it's not easy to do that, but the ACI is an institution which was developed by many professors like myself and people who are working in the industry, like managers of companies, technical managers, all that. And we developed together this institution where it's becoming like testing the quality of people by those exams and by those books and by those subjects and publications and this. Now, I happen to be an ACI, what we call fellow. Fellow ACI fellow somewhere here. Where we lost my fellow? Oh, it's back there. ACI fellow. We have only 2 ACI fellows in the Saudi Arabia, I think. ACI fellow means you have to be with them for a while and you have to contribute to the civil engineering and concrete industry. And then they choose every year maybe 15 people from all over the world to be considered ACI fellow. And this is one reason where probably you guys are lucky that I am allowed to have the exams in my office. I have the exam in my office here for a professional engineer, for quality control engineer, for this, and nobody else has it. I mean, you have to be in the States to be able to get this. Of course, you can order the books from the States. That's like this book. But the problem we are facing exams, and up to now we are having a big difficulty in all the Gulf for ACI certification. Actually, it's still big in all the Middle East now, because it is not cost effective, as their system requires me to bring the teacher and the exams with somebody from America to come here and give you and go back. Imagine the ticket and the hotel and the time domain and all that. So I, for example, did that in 1988, and I have my certificate there. Is it 88? 98?
98.
I brought one person called Khaled Awad from, he is a Lebanese, but he was responsible for certification in the Middle East. I brought him, and I brought another person, an American person from the States, and I brought them to the university, King Fahd University. Actually, it was on my own charge in a way, not the university sponsored. And we had our first ACI certification in 1990. And I took the certification with them, because I have them, they have here. I was sitting with them. I charged every person about 8,000 riyals for the course. And we ended up having maybe minimum of 40,000 plus. So it was the first time we tried it. And since then, it stopped, and then just before retirement, I decided, let me go through this, because it is also a service to the industry. I mean, I am a professor whose father is a contractor. I've been in contracting all my life. I am a civil engineer, and I decided not to buy a house, because I don't think civil engineering in Saudi Arabia reached a stage where it is economically positive to have a villa, because the amount of cost of construction and cost of maintenance due to repairs and all this is too high, and we need better concrete. So I've been all my life trying to get into the concrete durability issue. And when we ever talk about having better concrete, better buildings, better structures, There is too many aspects of it. One aspect was always thrown on the labor. We don't have qualified labor. We don't have qualified labor. We don't have qualified labor. You know, that is always has been thrown. So us in the engineering industry, we said, okay, let's go to precast concrete. And in Dammam, we have some projects in Dammam, those high-rise projects, where the concrete came from Europe. The whole project, the whole concrete came from Europe. And all what we did here was fix it. They are still standing, although those were made in the 1980s, I think, or 70s, or something like this. They are still standing, but as I said, the situation has not yet improved too much. Okay, so how can we help to solve this problem or improve the durability of concrete? It has a lot of issues of construction in general. It has lots of issues. One of it is to ensure that the people who are working with concrete are qualified. Now we use the word qualified because everybody I talk to would say, I have 10 years experience, I have 5 years experience. So we decided this is not what we're looking for. We are looking for, just like when you go to the doctor, you will not go to the doctor, you will go to somebody internal medicine, you will go to somebody with the eye doctor, you will go to somebody with ear doctor, you will go to somebody with a specific direction. So the ACI came up with about 18 or 19 courses specified. There is even one course for people who fix the seats in a stadium. Imagine if you make a stadium with 100,000 seats or 50,000 seats, and you ask any laborer to go and drill and put the anchor. You're talking about 60,000 seats with 60 or 120 or 1,000 anchors. So we have somebody who is ACI approved anchor installer. He will go through the process of installing that anchor correctly. So it goes like specific like this. Now, we couldn't in Saudi Arabia come and tell everybody you have to be ACI in every aspect. So we decided to go through the first course, which is the ACI Field Testing Technician Concrete one that you are taking. Okay. Can you stop that? And then